This is an NBC News special report. Here's Tom Llamas.
And good afternoon. We are coming on the air with breaking news right now out of New York City, where the NYPD has confirmed that a helicopter has crashed into the Hudson River near Manhattan's west side. At this hour, we still don't know if or how many people were injured or whether there were any fatalities. The NYPD also urging drivers in the area to expect emergency vehicles and traffic delays. These live pictures are coming in. We are seeing them as you are seeing them. You can see the massive response right now there on the West Side Highway. If you know New York City, this is happening just off the coast of Manhattan in the Hudson River there. This is above lower Manhattan. Pier 40 is the area you were looking at right there. So the Hudson, of course, separates New Jersey there on the left hand of your screen and New York City on the right. The response we're expecting, we know the NYPD, the FDNY, also the Coast Guard as well, trying to help in this rescue. Tom Winter has been following the developments. Tom, we're going to be very transparent with our viewers. This just happened. There's a lot we don't know. What do we do know?
That's right, Tom. It's just happened in the last couple of minutes. What you're looking at there on screen is the Coast Guard, the fire department for the city of New York, and the NYPD Marine units that appear to be close to it. And you're looking here at the tugs on any given day. There are tug operators in the city, which could be helpful in incidents like these. And now you're about to see the NYPD Marine units there as well. They also have their aviation units there. We don't have a lot of details on this helicopter. If we want to go back to the map in a couple of seconds, I could be a little bit more detailed as far as where this is. You're looking there at Pier 40 on the screen. Just south of that, or more towards the bottom of your screen, you'll see that there appears to be an object more in the middle of the river and kind of two lines going out, just bottom of where it says Hudson River. If you draw a line across from that, that's generally where the Holland Tunnel between New York City and New Jersey goes. And that, Tom, appears to be the location of this helicopter incident, at least where the helicopter is now, because that's where the crews are focused on. You're looking at one of those ventilation shafts right
just west of the Soho area. We understand we have an eyewitness on the phone who's joining our live coverage now. Avi Rakesh saw the helicopter. Avi, what did you see and what happened?
Well, I was in my apartment, and the chopper was flying southwest, say from like the little island that's there towards Jersey City, and like about 100, 200 feet north of the Holland Tunnel ventilation shaft, it broke down. In the air, like the blades came off, and it just dropped into the water.
So I want to make sure I understood you correctly. You said you witnessed the blades come off?
Yeah, blades just like flew off the helicopter, and it just dropped.
And could you tell the size of the helicopter, how big this chopper was?
Honestly, I haven't taken a lot of rides. I don't know, but like any other chopper, honestly, like it wasn't super large or anything, but I couldn't tell you.
When it went down,
it looked like a normal channel.
When it went down, did it look like it fell closer to the New York side or the New Jersey side? We're seeing a lot of emergency response right now on our live pictures close to Pier 40, pretty much on the pier as we speak.
Yeah, it definitely on the New Jersey side in terms of like it's right by the Holland Tunnel shaft, which I don't know the jurisdiction so well, so I don't know if I could tell you who it falls under, but it definitely is on the New Jersey side.
I don't know
Jersey City.
Yeah, I don't know if you were able to gauge this. The winds were sort of out of the southeast around 12, 13 miles per hour. Was it a windy day? It's obviously always windier on the west side by the river.
Yeah, definitely a windy day. I have a sensor out my window as well that engages the speed and stuff of the wind. Definitely a windy day.
What did you think when you witnessed that? Because it is something so horrific to kind of see in real time.
Honestly, kind of terrifying. Like the moment I saw it, my immediate reaction was, hope it doesn't hit the Holland Tunnel ventilation shaft building, because then it would be in flames, and then the rescue operation would be a lot harder, and it would have other ramifications for the tunnel as well. So that was my immediate like gut response, and then I called 911.
And then obviously the lives on board. It's still unclear how many passengers were on that helicopter, if any of them survived. That's still being figured out right now as we're watching the live rescue operation undergoing. To give you a sense of how strong the winds are, our local station here, our flagship station, NBC New York, WNBC, is not flying its chopper because of those wind conditions. So it gives you an idea of what the situation is like out there. These live pictures are coming from cameras that are positioned on buildings around this area, and we're able to bring you these live pictures as they happen. And you can see the number of boats seeming to increase as they're trying to rescue and then eventually pull out that helicopter from the Hudson River. For more on all of this, I do want to bring in NBC News aviation analyst John Cox, who has been following some of this. John, I know we don't have a lot to go on. We have a helicopter that went down. Our eyewitness telling us that, and that's one source, that it looked like the blades of the helicopter had fallen off and then it plummets into the Hudson. Also, a somewhat windy day here in New York as spring has just started.
It's so early to tell. I mean, I'm sure there'll be videos that will help the investigators look to see how the helicopter was responding, if it was under control or not. And those are the sorts of things. Right now, everybody's focused on the first response is to try to get to the helicopter and see if there are any survivors. The next portion of it will be to stabilize the wreckage and then let the National Transportation Safety Board begin their meticulous process. And so everybody's focused right now on first response. And we don't know a whole lot. And in the early hours, it's typical that information that we get oftentimes proves not to be 100% accurate. So we want to be careful about any initial observations or speculation, which we don't want to do.
John, we have a helipad just north of that on West 30th Street, so several blocks up, but there's a helipad, as you know, on the west side of Manhattan. There's one on the east side, just off the FDR, on the lower portion of Manhattan. This helicopter, from our eyewitness, was traveling southwest from what he says, so headed towards the tip of Manhattan, maybe towards the Jersey side as well. Having ridden in helicopter several times for stories, you go through that process, the emergency response and what would happen if you were to have an emergency landing and how to get out of the helicopter. Walk our viewers through that process, because it's different on a helicopter than it is on some airplanes.
Very much so. Helicopters, when they, particularly if they go into the water, they tend to roll. And I've been qualified in that before, but you go through special helicopter underwater egress training where you realize that it's likely that you could be upside down in the helicopter, and so that you have to slide the door open or get the windows. The windows typically will come out. They're designed that way. So you pull them out, and then you've got to orient yourself towards the surface and then swim toward the surface.
John, I don't know if you, John, I just want to interrupt you. I don't know if you can watch our coverage right now. We're getting our first images of what looked like the helicopter possibly underwater. Can you see these images? Are you in front of a television by chance?
I can, yes.
What are we looking at here?
I'm not 100% sure. It is possible that those large black objects that you see, the cylindrical objects, are floats. A lot of the helicopters that fly in the New York area have floats because there's so much water that they fly over. Now, one of the questions, it does not appear that those floats were inflated, and as to why. So these are questions that we don't know yet.
And John, I mean, does it stand to reason that if these images are what we think they are, the helicopter, the cockpit is underwater at this point?
If these are the skids and floats, the helicopter is underwater. There's no question, and it would be upside down, which is not unusual for a helicopter entering the water. The dynamics, the physics of that rotor blade tend to roll that helicopter, and so that's one of the reasons that they teach so special this egress training.
John, stand by for us. Tom Costello has some new reporting. He's been talking to his sources in the aviation world. Tom, what can you tell our viewers?
Well, as you would expect, it is early moments in this investigation, and the priority right now is finding out if there is anybody in that water who needs to be rescued. Both the FAA and the NTSB are monitoring this closely, as you would expect, but the initial emergency response, of course, is up to the NYPD, the FDNY, the Coast Guard. What strikes me, Tom, as you look at these images, it reminds me, of course, of the miracle on the Hudson back in 2009, in which that U.S. Airways flight, U.S. Airways Flight 1549 went into the water. Amazingly, everybody on board survived, but you had just this huge push by boats in the water immediately responding to that plane back in 2009. Everybody survived, and it occurs to me, yes, you have police, fire boats in the water here, but I think I also saw some civilian boats as well. And then, Tom, another one. Back in 2018, the civilian helicopter that went down, the tourist helicopter, went down in the East River. So if you look at Manhattan, Hudson River on the left, East River on the right. This is in the Hudson River right there. And, of course, the East River is where we had that New York helicopter crash back in 2018. 5 people died when that Eurocopter went down. They were flying, by the way, to remind the audience, they were flying with the doors open to take cool shots, photographs of Manhattan, and people were harnessed in so tightly, it's thought that may have contributed to why so many people died. We do not know what kind of a helicopter this is. All we know is you're looking real time at a rescue operation underway as we speak.
Yeah, Tom, it is reminiscent of Miracle on the Hudson, with the one exception that, and I covered it right after that plane landed on the Hudson River, you could see the plane. You could see the people on the wing. In this case, we may just be seeing skids and that chopper underwater. Tom Winters here. He's also joining our live coverage. Tom, I know you have new reporting.
We do, Tom. Our understanding from a senior law enforcement official briefed on this that there were at least 4 passengers on board that helicopter at the time that it did go in to the Hudson River, closer to New Jersey, closer to the ventilation shaft of the tunnel that runs through there, the Holland Tunnel. So at this point, at least 4 passengers. Their exact condition is not yet known. Tom Costello referenced the fact that the helicopter crash in the East River in 2018. In that particular incident, it found that the floats, and we were looking at it at that image just a moment ago, the helicopter upside down in the water, that the floats did not adequately inflate. One side was inflated more than the other, and that was a challenge. Just
to be clear real quick, Tom, the 4 passengers, just 4 people on the chopper. We don't know if there's 4 passengers and crew, or that includes the crew.
Exactly right. Preliminary reports, Tom, 4 passengers. Don't know if that includes a pilot or co-pilot.
Okay. We're going to dip into our coverage from WNBC, our station here. Let's listen in. They're on the scene.
There are dozens of rescue units here, rescue workers, first responders here from the NYPD, FDNY. We also have EMS here. Again, there are some ambulances here, but the majority are rescue workers trained to work. The ESU, scuba, the dive unit here, they're trained to work in these waters here. Very difficult waters to navigate in the Hudson here, but they're trained to work in the Hudson. They went out as part of this emergency response. Again, it's closer to the Jersey side, but you can see straight away. And we're being told by law enforcement sources here at Pier 40 that at least 4 people have been taken out of the water from that helicopter and rushed to the hospital in New Jersey. Again, we don't have their conditions at this time.
Okay, Mark Santia, as we cross the 4 o'clock hour, we are resetting now. Within the last hour, we learned of a chopper in the Hudson.
We've been listening there to our local station, WNBC, who had reporter Mark Santia on the scene on the Manhattan side. We've been following these breaking developments. If you're just joining our coverage, a helicopter has gone down in the Hudson River. Preliminary information is that there were 4 people on board. The first images that we've gotten, besides these live rescue images, are of what appears to be the helicopter here underwater with the skid sticking out and possible floats inflated. Again, this is all preliminary information. It could change, but these are the first images we're getting in what we believe this to be. An eyewitness has just told us that they saw the helicopter flying south-southwest, so towards the Statue of Liberty, if you will, and then suddenly it plunged into the Hudson River when its blades fell off, is the way that was described to us. Unclear if it was the blades from the tail or if it was the blades on top, the main part of the helicopter as well. We're going to stay covering this throughout this. It's going to conclude our NBC News special report. We're going to have much more ahead on our streaming network, NBC News Now, online at NBCNews.com, always in a full wrap-up tonight when I see you on Nightly News. I'm Tom Yamas in New York. We thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.